It's been a fascinating career for Avan Jogia. One can go down many different paths in the life of a Nickelodeon kid, some of which are less successful than others. Jogia was one of the select few child actors who made the transition into adult roles without making a big deal out of it. He has dabbled in a variety of genres and stories throughout his acting career, showcasing his charm and talent. Jogia has kept busy writing a book and producing music with his brother and their band Saint Ivory in between his acting roles. His stunning Neo-Noir, comic book-inspired debut feature as a director, Dormouse, marks his foray into directing full-length movies. Dormouse tells the tale of Mouse, a comic book writer and illustrator who works at a burlesque bar owned and operated by Mama Doe Eyes, a friend and fellow burlesque dancer, skips work one night, which alerts the already uneasy Mouse to something sinister. When another friend, the cool Scottish truth teller Riz, is kidnapped outside the bar, things take a bad turn. In order to find out the truth, Mouse must knock on the doors of some sketchy characters and pose risky questions. With one important exception, Jogia's narrative closely follows the noir formula. The story's female protagonist is not your typical femme fatale, doomed to a tragic death or cast aside by a chain-smoking, cynical male detective. Instead, a young woman who defends other women and pursues leads with the aid of Ugly, a sidekick who is neither her protector nor lover, occupies the foreground. Even though Mouse is cynical and pessimistic, her actions show the strength of sisterhood and community even in the most hopeless situations. Even though the script occasionally borders on kitsch, it exhibits a respect for film noir, putting the world's blatant cruelty on full display. But sincerity comes through, especially in Hayley Law's performance and the role of Mouse. Law made an impression with her roles as one of the Pussycats in the CW's Riverdale, and in Netflix's short-lived Altered Carbon. She plays Mouse in this role, which may have gotten its name from the way her afro poofs resemble Mickey Mouse's ears. Despite their shared affinity for Mickey, Mouse couldn't be more different. Despite her appearance and age, she behaves like a crude, dejected middle-aged man who has lost all hope in humanity. Law perfectly captures the rhythm of the main detective, and the fun nods to the distinct fashion choices are evident in her wardrobe. Law's subversion and appropriation of that archetype will appeal to anyone who enjoys a good noir. Her sardonic delivery and piercing gaze are flawless, helping Jogia achieve his goal of making his own neo-noir that can be favorably compared to the cult classic Brick. Law commands attention and is essential to the success of this bizarre neo-noir. Creatives with ambitious goals may be constrained by their limited resources. The limitations are acceptable in Jogia's narrative, though. Since his main character is a struggling comic book artist, he uses hip comic graphics that let viewers experience the world from Mouse's perspective. A fun way to avoid the expense of staging action set pieces is to use these graphics. The comic book interludes bring the project to life and showcase Jogia's inventiveness by immersing the audience in the creative endeavors of the main characters. The production design team for the movie gives each location in the live-action scenes a unique appearance, which helps to create a lived-in world despite the fact that very little of the general public is visible, and that Mouse visits sparsely populated areas. The costumes that go with it give each character a distinct look and feel. Additionally, the movie is a handsome production with strong cinematography by Mike McLaughlin and a dynamic score by Ketan Jogia, Jogia's brother, that is perfectly suited for the movie's vision. The team's efforts are clearly visible and quite successful in creating a compelling story and world. First impressions are crucial because they can determine whether someone will have an easy transition to the major leagues or not. If there is any justice, Dormouse will receive the recognition it rightfully merits for being a clearly defined story brought to life successfully and effectively by a gifted director whose imagination and creative drive become more apparent with each scene. The only drawback is that Dormouse gives very little room to the smaller features that offer something different when it comes to the comic book space in the film. Despite its unavoidable path to becoming a beloved cult favorite, Dormouse deserves some praise during its first few weeks in theaters. Hopefully Avan Jogia's fame will draw attention to Dormouse because it deserves it. On January 13th, Dormouse debuted in theaters and on digital platforms. It lasts 101 minutes and is unrated. Our score, 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and support my channel lesser than 3.